Senator Dianne Feinstein passed at the ripe age of 91, 92, just hitting her stride, arguably. She finally croaked, and Gavin Newsom appointed somebody to her seat. We'll talk about that in a second. But, look, I was going to bitch about this because I think it's really annoying that someone who actually did good things earlier in her career, assault weapons ban being one of them, groundbreaking in terms of, one of the first women elected to the Senate, first women to be on like the Judiciary Committee or chair it. She became mayor. Remember when Harvey Milk was assassinated? I mean, this is a woman who truly shone in her prime. And then just slowly descended into corporate shillery, like middle of the road bullshit. And it's very annoying and sad that her legacy has been tainted by everything that she didn't do, and in the end, in my opinion.
Well, I think she'll have a chance to clean up her legacy when the Democrats run her as their nominee in 2028. And hopefully she
out of respect for Dianne, we are running Dianne.
I can see it.
Well, we're going to run her handler, which is actually Nancy Pelosi's daughter, who speaks to Dianne via what is it? A communicate? What are they? A telepath? What are those called?
Telepathy?
Yeah. Oh my God, I can't believe the word is right here, but it's
a Ouija board.
Yes, through a Ouija board.
I see. Yes.
Is going to be talking to Dianne, who's just been like, "Fuck the Green New Deal." So look, at the end there, when Trump was elected, she said that he could be a great president. Okay. She called the Amy Coney Barrett hearing one of the best hearings she's ever been to. All right. And then she did this, which I think everyone needs to remember. And let's be real, this is only a few years ago, and it most definitely shows just how much she was losing it towards the end. I'm going to just blame that because otherwise, is she really this big of a see you next Tuesday? But
said that we have 12 years.
Sorry, let's preface this by reminding everybody this was when children went to her office in San Francisco with text of the Green New Deal that they wrote in their adorable little kid handwriting and begged the senator to act on the Green New Deal because, as they'll explain, we don't have enough time and that their futures are on the line here. And this is what she said back to them.
Some scientists have said that we have 12 years to turn this around.
Well, it's not going to get turned around in 10 years. I've been doing this for 30 years. I know what I'm doing. You come in here and you say it has to be my way or the highway. I don't respond to that. I know what I'm doing. So, maybe people should listen a little bit.
I hear what you're saying, but we're the people who voted you. You're supposed to listen to us. That's your job.
How old
I'm
are
16.
You?
I
well,
can't
you didn't vote for me.
Well, I'm
We're the ones who's going to be impacted.
Something.
It doesn't matter. We're going to be the ones who's all impacted.
I understand that. I have 7 grandchildren. I understand it very well.
Senator, the cost of not taking this action is far higher than the cost of what the Green New Deal will be. And there is enormous popularity for this bill around the whole country. And we're asking you to be brave and do this for us and for your grandchildren.
Get enough for everyone. I'm trying to do the best I can, which was to write a responsible resolution.
Any plan that doesn't take bold, transformative action is not going to be what we need.
Well, you know better than I do. So I think one day you should run for the Senate.
There we go. And I hope that woman does run for the Senate. So there she was. You didn't vote for me because you're only 16, you little shits. And as I tweeted, I mean, she really did have the last laugh, which was dying before they got a chance to even vote or could be old enough to vote. Look, I had to cut out a part of that video because it actually makes me cry when that little girl who can't do her R's well is like, it's a government for the people and by the people. And it's just like, how do you get to be so decrepit and corrupt? Because I've seen Donors roll like Sheldon Adelson. Remember that dude, that big billionaire from Vegas? I've seen R.I.P. I've seen him wheel out on a rascal from her office. That dude would donate mad money. That's what she responded to throughout the end of her career. And it's so sad. And honestly, I do not pour one out. Yeah. Good riddance.
I mean, those kids should have brought some more cash if they wanted things to get done. I think that's the biggest problem is she wasn't upfront. She should have said, I know you didn't vote for me. If you didn't vote for me, then, got to pay up. You got to,
How much money do you have?
Right now? Take it out. Give it to me. That's the problem. Her not telling them the truth about the way the world works.
Yeah, exactly. It's all, she should have just done this, just like, like rubbed her fingers together. Money
Monopoly
talks.
money. And she'd be like, this doesn't fucking work in my world, guys. Oh, you gave $12? Yeah, my fifth house cost $12 million. Come back when you got that, okay?
Just a quick update before we move on. Actually, no, let's keep on this, but just for editing purposes. So she has been obviously momentarily there's been an interim senator appointed, and it's important to know who she is. This is Laphonza Butler is her name, and she's the president of Emily's List, an organization that works to help get elect Democratic women who support abortion rights. Caveat. She was for many years the head of the SEIU Local 2015, a union representing California long-term caregivers, before becoming a partner in what was then known as the SCRB Strategies, Newsom's political consulting firm, and later worked in public policy for Airbnb. Okay, that's all fine and good. She's also the lesbian. She's Black. She's the first Black lesbian to be in the Senate, of course, interim. I have problems with Emily's List generally. They're much more centrist. They do not necessarily support progressive women and women who are very vehemently talking about abortion rights. They're centrist effectively. That's not what's really eyebrow raising about Butler. It's that at Uber, she basically represented them as they tried to broker a deal that would avoid classifying their drivers as employees. Several unions have already endorsed other candidates in the Senate race, obviously not her. This is Josh Idelson writing, Laphonza Butler, the former president of one of SEIU's largest locals and current advisor to Kamala Harris, that's another person who she works with, has been advising and representing Uber in its dealings with organized labor. This is back in 2019, as the company seeks to deal to avert drivers being classified as employees. So she basically used her leverage as this is honestly not all unions and not all union leadership, but she used her experience as a union leader to effectively get a corporate job and be like, oh, here's how you undermine unions. I know, I worked in one. Let me help Uber not classify any of your employees, your drivers as employees. And we, tight. So she's not going to last. This is only a year. Obviously Barbara Lee, Katie Porter, and Adam Schiff with all the money. Speaking of people who are accepting lots of money, they're all running to be senator, of course, from California. So TBD. I think
she should only be allowed to travel by Uber while she's there, and every Uber driver should know who they're driving, and they talk to her the whole ride.
She's got to sit in the front.
She's got to sit in the front. Yes, and they talk to her the whole ride.
So what do you do? What is interim, or what? You what does that mean? Do you have the same power? Oh, but your vote doesn't really matter, does it? She's motherfucker. Yeah. So, I was going to bitch about Gavin Newsom because I'm sure, Gianmarco, you heard that. I mean, Gavin Newsom's basically, he's a typical centrist. He is far and away, I think, a better candidate than, honestly, obviously, Joe Biden in terms of a national level. But for California, he very poorly represents a state that went to Bernie. Sure. The dude just spent this last week vetoing a bunch of progressive stuff. I'll talk about it next week. But one of those things was also vetoing a strike fund for any striking workers, like writers and actors. Oh, yeah. So, what do you expect? She's an advisor to his firm. She's an advisor to Kamala Harris. She gets the job for now. But anywho, that is any final parting thoughts on Senator Feinstein?
Well, I mean, that's what I was going to say. The replacement is probably at least better than, I don't know if Feinstein had to call an Uber, I mean, that wouldn't even work. I doubt.
At least she knows how to call an Uber.
I think the bar has become so low. Just basic cognitive functions are now to be admired. And
Absolutely.
if they can tell you what an Instagram is or a podcast, like that's all right. Maybe we're back in the right direction.
Yeah, if they are not like actually sputtering, if they're not like beach ball of deathing in the middle of their press conferences like Mitch McConnell.
Yeah.
That's fine. Paige came through with that word, a medium. Such a good word.
Yes.
Anyway, we hope that she can, from beyond the grave, direct this country into nothingness. What's going on, Frantifa? If you haven't already, subscribe to this channel right now. Hit that button. And also, you can become a patron and support the show every single week. Get access to bonus episodes and exclusive merchandise. Patreon.com/bitchuation room. Do it.